Alhamdulillah, we are privileged to be able to invite you, Muslim brothers and sisters from Belgium, to come to our iftar dinner with Indonesian community. And also we have some guests from the Islamic communities from many parts of Belgium, from Antwerp, also from the Brussels Mosque. We want to share, especially with Europe, how the interfaith, intercultural relations in Indonesia that Europe can learn. We deal with difficult issue, for instance, terrorism, by using cultural approach, by using the harmony between different religions, by bringing moderate ustad. So this is something that Europe can learn, because Indonesia is a country of now about 200 ethnies, and we speak 300 languages. And still we are one united country. We have more than 5 big religions. We also have a traditional religions that were there before even the Buddhists and Hindu came. So we have majority Muslim, but we are tolerant to the Hindu, the Buddhists, the Catholics, and also the Protestant and the other faith. So this is something that we have experienced in Indonesia, and something that maybe Europe can learn. We have a number of what do you call it, basic value in Indonesia, which I think give the possibility of multicultural relations in our country. And this is something that we also want to spread. There is also very interesting analysis that our experience can also be used by other countries in North Africa, who is now in turmoil. You know, we have the same structure, for instance, with Egypt. In the old days, we have a very strong military government, the same with Egypt. But Indonesia managed to become Muslim and democratic, and not only that, we grow at 6%, the economy. So it means that we can deliver to the public, we can be a faithful and pious Muslim, but at the same time democratic. So this model, maybe other brothers in North Africa, especially now in Egypt, could also try to look at it. We are very much interested in the establishment of the Indonesian Islamic Cultural Center, which can be served as a mosque, as education for our children, but also as a place where other people can make a reference about Islam in Indonesia, how Islam came to Indonesia, and how the largest Islamic community in the world is not in the Middle East, but it's in Indonesia. It's it's over 200 million people in one country. So it is also something that could be good for the references for also Muslims, our Muslim brothers and sisters, but also importantly for Europeans, because when Europeans think about Islam, sometimes they have a different perception, and they need to have a more comprehensive view about Islam. Because if you ask any European, what is the largest Muslim population in the world, they will say Saudi, you know, and they will not immediately associate with Indonesia, which is 200 million Muslims. But I think the problem is not really integrations. The problem is mutual respect. Because when you talk about integration, then the question is, who needs to integrate into what? Okay. Then the next question would be, can my values and belief be integrated but integrate into what? Because if we are talking about diversity, Europe without Islam is already diverse. You have so many different branches of different religions. You have Catholicism, but you also have increasingly people with no religions. So when you need to integrate, then it is not very clear you integrate into what. And that is something that with Indonesia we do for hundreds of years. We do not want to force others to integrate into others' value. No, it's a question of mutual respect. For instance, the holidays. In Indonesia, we celebrate all religious holidays. We celebrate Pascha, Eid Mubarak, the Christian holiday. We have a 25th of December. We have the Hindu holiday. We have the Buddhist holiday. We have the Chinese holiday. So it's a question of mutual respect. So because if you are asking to integrate, then for us, for instance, for Indonesia, if we have people coming, foreigners from different parts of the world coming into Indonesia, then we ask them to integrate into what? We only ask them to respect what is the culture in Indonesia. We also respect them. I think this is something, it's not enough in the debate in Europe. And it becomes misunderstanding, and then it becomes people making all kind of political statement, which is it's not in its right place. I've spoken to a number of experts, theology experts in Europe, including from those from Germany and from Belgium. They are not Muslim, they are Christians, they are very devout Christians. They all agree with my proposition that there is not enough debate on theology in Europe. And that is why you have this sometimes mutual suspicions, which then propagate into mutual distrust and then create all this kind of social problems. Well, it's difficult for me to give advice to other people. I think what we all need to do is to understand the basic philosophy of what Prophet Muhammad SAW was saying about Islam as Rahmatan lil Alamin, the religions that for all. I think we need to actually put that into practice of our daily life. Because what happened also sometimes people only have a vertical relations with Allah and with the religions, but sometimes it's not balanced with the horizontal relations with the other religion. It is not only going for Muslim. I think sometimes it goes with the other religion also. This is the difficulty. You need to find a balance between different religions. I think governments play a lot of role, and this is a problem I think in Europe, because the basic idea in Europe is secularism, and therefore the government restrained to be involved in the relation between religions. But if you really want to have a good relation between different religions, you actually need to use theology. It doesn't mean that the government preaches or the government produce theology, but the government can invite moderate leaders to have a discussion among themselves. This is exactly what happened in Indonesia. We are not a religious state, but we are not a secular state. We have a Ministry of Religious Affairs, but the ministry only help the different faiths for their own management organizations. For instance, for the Islamic community, the ministry does not have theology. The ministry does not produce decisions, religious decisions. The ministry only organize if you want to do Hajj, if you want to pay zakat, only those type of things. But also at the same time, the ministry try to bring different religions together to give a forum to facilitate the discussions. Now, this is something that I think I've done some studies. This is something that is lacking in Europe because of the position of that this is a secular political institution. Therefore, you don't want to be involved into religion. I think it's in a way it's not the correct approach, because if you bring theology in the debate, then you bring more understanding. If there are more Muslims understand about other religion and other religion understand about Muslims, then we have much more inclusion among each other. Because I think some of the statement by some politician in Europe is that Muslims are exclusive, and I think that's not correct, because our religion is inclusive. As a basis of religion is inclusive, but the political environment does not facilitate more discussion.